Today we're going to be crocheting a Valentine heart using the Croc stitch. I have my styrofoam heart. I have my H hook. I'm also using the Red Heart with Love yarn, 4-ply, medium weight in hot pink. We're going to be adding some beads to each Croc stitch. So what I've done here is I've added some plastic beads onto my yarn already. That way they're there when I need them. I used about 184 beads for the project, 92 on each side. These are just plastic beads you get at the craft store. They kind of look clear with a little rainbow on them depending on what color you have in the background. So as you can see here, there's a little bit of a rainbow there on it. As we go along, if I run out of beads, I'm just going to cut my thread on some more beads as I go along. Okay, I have two little brick here to hold up my styrofoam. Normally I hold this between my legs, but because we're shooting video today, we're going to be using that to hold our heart. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here and we're going to start by chaining 17. Okay, so here we go. So start with chain 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And what we're going to do is we're going to work one half of the heart at a time. So there's actually two pieces. So we're going to work on our Croc stitches on one half, flip the heart over, and then work on the Croc stitches on the other side. And then we'll use the needle to join those two sides together. Okay, so you have your chain 17 right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch to our first stitch right here. Just slip stitch and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, then 1 double crochet in that slip stitch. Right now we're building our foundation row for our Croc stitches, so that's my first set of double crochets. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, and in that second stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and chain 1. Okay. Skip my next stitch. In that second stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets. 1, 2, chain 1. Skip the next stitch, and in my second stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets. Right now we're building that foundation row to do our Croc stitches on. Chain 1. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. We're making our sets of double crochet. So there's our first set, second set, third set, fourth set. So we're going to go all the way around doing that. So skip the next chain. In that second chain, 2 double crochets. 1, 2, chain 1, skip the next chain. In the second chain, I'm going to do 2 double crochets. 1, 2, chain 1, skip the next double crochet. Skip the next chain. In the second chain, do 2 double crochets and chain 1. Skip 1 chain. In the next chain, we're going to do 2 double crochets and chain 1. So we should have 8 sets of double crochets when we're done with this. So let me see where I'm at here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is my foundation row for my croc stitches. So I'm going to slip stitch to this first chain 3 here on that third chain. Just slip stitch right there. Okay, so there is my foundation row. For the croc stitches, as you know, we're doing 5 double crochets, chain 1, 5 double crochets. That's how you do your croc stitch. But for us, we're going to do 5 double crochets. We're going to skip that single crochet right there, pull our bead up there, and then do 5 double crochets coming up the other side for our croc stitch. Okay, each row will consist of 4 croc stitches, alternating. That way we have that layered look there. So here we go. I'm just going to slip stitch to this first post right here. I'm going to chain 3 to count as my first double crochet. So 4 more double crochets in this post coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's the first side of my croc stitch. Now I'm going to take a bead. I'm just going to pull it right up here. And again, normally where I would do a single crochet, I'm not. So now I have my bead right there, and I'm just wrapping my yarn around and coming up that second post and do 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is what your croc stitch is going to look like right there with your little bead right there. So each croc stitch is going to have a bead as on the tip of it. Okay, so for our next croc stitch, as you know, the croc stitch, you're skipping every set of double crochet posts. So we're going to skip this set of double crochets and go on to this one. 5 double crochets down this post, pull up a bead, and then 5 double crochets coming up this post. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm pulling up my next bead here. Okay. So I got my bead right there. I wrap the yarn around and come up this next post and do 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So there's our first 2 croc stitches. You know, once you're done, you can go back and move these beads a little so that they're right there at the tip. Okay. And again, each row will consist of 4 croc stitches. So let's go ahead and do 2 more croc stitches and finish off this row. I'm skipping the next set of doubles, and in this set of doubles I'm doing a croc stitch. So 5 double crochets going down this post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull up one bead. Okay, I'm coming up that second post. There's my bead out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's our third croc stitch. Skip a set of double crochets, and in this next set, 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Pull up a bead. This might take you a little longer than normal because we're playing with these beads here. So there's my bead. Now 5 double crochets in the next post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now to end the round, I'm going to stick my hook in this first chain of my first double crochet there, and in this set of doubles that I was going to skip, I'm going to stick the crochet hook in between that. So I got all these things on my hook. I'm going to grab the yarn and I'm just going to slip stitch to lock that in there, and I'm going to chain 3 because that's going to be the start of my foundation row for the next round. So as you can see here, each croc stitch has a little bead on it. So we're going to build our foundation row for the next set of croc stitches. So I'm right here already, and there's my first double crochet. So I'm going to do a double crochet, chain 1, then double crochet in the center of this first croc stitch, and another double crochet. Remember, our foundation rows are sets of double crochet, so there's one set, another set, chain 1. Now my next set of doubles is going to be, I'm going underneath this row of croc stitches, and in my skipped set of doubles underneath here, I'm going right in between. That's going to anchor these 2 rows together, and draw up a loop and make a double crochet and then another double crochet, chain 1, next set of doubles in between this croc stitch, 1, 2, chain 1. Next set of doubles, I'm going underneath this croc stitch and then coming through this skipped set of doubles right in between there and draw up my loop. There's 1 double, 2 doubles, chain 1, set of doubles in between this croc stitch, chain 1. Next doubles underneath this skipped double right there. Okay. Chain 1, set of doubles here. So we should have 8 sets of doubles again. Chain 1. Okay. And then we just slip stitch to this first set here. Okay. There we go. And then I want to, my next set of doubles, again, I'm sorry, my next set of croc stitches, as you know, we're alternating the croc stitches, so my first croc stitch is going to be right here. So what I want to do is slip stitch to this first post here and then do my 5 double crochets down, put a bead in, and then do my 5 double crochets up. Okay? So again, for those who know how to do the croc stitch, we build a foundation row, we do a set of croc stitches, we build another foundation row, and then that next row of croc stitches is going to alternate. That way you got that layered look on them. So our Croc stitches are going to land right here. And we're going to be skipping these ones here and doing those ones, okay? So let's do one more Croc stitch and then I'll let you go. Okay, so let me just slip stitch down to this post here. Okay, and chain 3, that's my first double. So 4 more doubles down this post. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull up a bead. And then 5 doubles coming up this next post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you see that layered look. There's your first row of doubles, and then this is your second row of doubles. So we're going to continue making the Croc stitches all the way around, skipping a set of doubles. So we're going to skip this set here. Our next Croc stitch will be here. That way it's laying down right in between these two. We will continue around for a total of about, I believe it's 23 rows. Let's see here. It's for a total of 23 rows. So we're going to run all the way around, and then we're going to turn over here, then work our way around this way. Okay? So we'll check in at the halfway point. So here we are at our halfway point on our heart. As you can see here, we've worked through half of it. So there's 23 rows here, and what I've done again is I'm working it in halves. So I've done half, and then I'll turn this way and I'll do the other half, and then I will sew these edges together right here, and I'll sew these edges together right here. That way all my Croc stitches come down versus going all the way around and not stopping, because then I'll have these Croc stitches upside down. So again, it's built in 2 pieces. So here's my first section, and I will join the yarn here the same as I did when I started this one, and we'll start working up our other side. So again, to begin, I'm going to chain 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm going to join it here with a slip stitch. And this side is built exactly the same way as we did the first side of our heart. So this is a very short video. So 1, 2, actually that was 2, 3. So there's my chain stitch, 1 double in this slip stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and in my next stitch I'm going to do 2 double crochets. Again, we're building that foundation row for our Croc stitches. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch in the next stitch, chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 1. So you can see I'm building that foundation row, and this side is done exactly like the first side of the heart. So once you get through with that, the next part of the video will be just the hand stitching it to the slip stitching it together. So we'll see you at the end of the project. Okay, so here we are with our finished product. So once I finished sewing both sides of it, then I came back here and whip stitched the edges together. And if you look, I layered it. See, this one ended with 2, this one had 1, and I just kind of put them together and I whip stitched around the seam. You can see that right there. I just whip stitched around, and then I kind of close these so you can't see where I stitched. And I did the same on the top up here. Is once I was done, I just kind of pushed them together, and I alternated these as well, and then just I whip stitched it together. And once I tie that off, and then I just kind of fluff everything there. So once you're done with all that, there is your Croc Stitch Valentine wreath. I hope you enjoyed the project.